and it just bounces harmlessly off the shield. Alright, Vladius. Your move.
Alright, maybe to right there.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be in your way. It'd be better to go up here.
Right there.
Alright. He wants to move there.
I'll get out of his way in a sec.
Alright, Vladius, what are you going to do here?
Cock the crossbow and wait for a clear shot.
Alright, you prime your crossbow, waiting. Everyone give me initiative. Alright. Oh, okay, so it is Kyras, Talos, Variel, Figure, Vladius.
Okay, I want to move right here, so that way, then he should have a clear shot, right?
Yeah, that should open up.
Okay. Alright, now I'm going to swing at him with my bastard. So wait, before I start, I'll say, wait, can I see?
You don't need to ask him to surrender.
No, I'm not going to ask him to surrender, but I want to, like, I mean, I obviously want to question this guy. I don't want to just kill him. Can I see anything on him?
If you don't want to kill him when you attack him, just designate non-lethal. You're going for a non-lethal attack.
Alright, non-lethal then. Swinging my bastard sword.
Alright, but to answer your question, you don't really... Well, I got good news for you, Kyras.
What?
You hit him. In fact, your sword is currently embedded in his gut, but it is now very much stuck there, and he seems thoroughly unbothered by this.
Did I do damage though? No. Alright, I guess
he doesn't seem to be bothered.
then I draw my warhammer and wait for my turn.
Alright.
Oh, you can draw as a quick action?
Yeah.
Oh. Damn it. I thought drawing your weapon was a standard action. Okay.
Well,
is it my turn now? Alright, well, do I have time to draw my Gladius and still attack?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's not a very difficult process.
Alright, I'm going to do that.
Good. Attack. Alright. Well, you go in, and with a surprising amount of dexterity, this guy just sort of and knocks your sword aside with his.
Yep.
Again, thoroughly not caring about the very large sword embedded in his gut. Variel.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna
Push your warhammer. I think he might be like a skeleton or something.
I was thinking about that. I'm gonna go behind him though, and I'm gonna attack with the warhammer.
Now he gets flanking bonus, right?
Yes, he does.
Alright.
How does that work?
I think you get like, what, +2 on attack rolls?
I'm pulling up the page.
And if only Vladius was also like a melee fighter and could cover the other side, and then we'll just box him in.
Yeah,
Nice.
you get a +2 bonus to your +2 flanking bonus.
To
damage or
attack rolls?
Attack.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, you hit him. You bring down your hammer, and you hear a very loud crunch when you hit him, but there is a liquid coming out, seeping out around the cowl and through the eyes of his featureless mask.
Did he like hit him in the face, or where did he hit him?
Good question, Variel. Where did you hit him? Because he's got his back to you.
I hit him. I hit him in the back.
Okay.
Just in the back. All right.
say non-lethal too if we want to like try and maybe question him. Although
I imagine this thing is undead.
At this
not
point,
yeah, but
at this point, if he's taking a hit from your warhammer and he's got a bastard sword in his gut, and he's still fighting like nothing's bothering him,
I doubt he's answering questions. I doubt he has the ability to speak.
probably not.
But you do hit him, and again, going back to the smell, it does just get worse. And eventually you see why, as the back of his clothing is just starts to get soaked with something, to the point where some odd brown liquid starts to drip through.
The stuff that they wrote the message on, I know.
Alright, now it's his turn. Because that still wasn't enough to put him down. I honestly did not think about what would happen if you flanked him. Alright, and doesn't matter who he was attacking, he ain't hurting anyone.
Your turn.
Alright, give me a pot shot at his head.
Alright.
Cool.
And let's see here. 1, 2, 3. He's within 30 feet, so he gets the bonus.
Alright. Oh.
So it's 15 and 9.
Alright, and yes, as the bolt flies through, it goes clean through one of the eye sockets, and he just falls to the ground as more of the brown liquid seeps through the eye hole of the mask.
I retrieve my bastard sword.
Hey Steve, you're gonna have a mess to clean up again.
Steve proceeds to speak in his other fluent language, terrified whimpering. But he's still curled up on the ground.
Go grab a mop.
Can we remove that porcelain mask thing and see what's underneath?
Alright. After taking Vladius' crossbow bolt out of his head, you take off the mask, the whole cowl coming with it, apparently it's attached. And sure enough, it's a human face, but it's a very heavily decayed human face, almost like it's been preserved, but the flesh has lost most of its color, turning a sickly gray. And sure enough, there are more of those runes carved in it.
Told you the corpses were going to come alive.
Is there a mage anywhere in the city?
I don't know.
How would...
Well,
Hold on,
I
let's...
do know, but I'm not going to tell you, just...
Alright,
We need
let's...
to do our own investigation.
Right, so let's not... Let's not touch the body. Let's go to the Smiling Unicorn and ask for a mage to check out these runes.
Maybe we should go to the city guard first.
I was about to say, let's take it to the Duke.
Why?
They usually
It's not
have
like they
court.
have any
They
magic
usually have
skills.
court magicians, and this is involved with the human trafficking, and the whole incident where someone got nailed to a wall. So,
Alright.
if we
seems
take
like
it to
those-
him, give him an update to the situation, he might even give us some more assistance, possibly intelligence, and it also puts us in a better light. Because I mean, people are getting nailed to the walls with vultures being carved into their chest. It might be a good idea to get the Duke on our good side.
You know, if anyone's getting mutilated in the streets with a bird carved into them, it's got to be done by you.
Yeah, it's my territory.
I thought the slapping was your territory.
I have a lot of territory. Speaking of which, I go over and slap Steve and tell him to clean up this mess before I get back. Oh, and did you send off my letter?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, good. And did you restock our booze stocks?
You didn't tell me to do that, sir.
Please do that.
I said rations.
I thought I brought food. And he points to the bag of various foodstuffs, namely cheap bread and stale bread and barely salted meats that are now lying on the floor.
All right, good
Good
job.
job,
But
Steve.
you need to go out and get some booze. We got a guy from the Order of the Flag in here. He needs booze every day. So
But I don't have any money.
Okay, hold on. I'll let's see. Everybody give him
everybody.
like
Everybody.
Somebody,
give him
only one
some
person
wine.
here requires booze every day.
Oh,
Should we budget
is that
him?
how it's gonna be?
Should we budget him for rations so that we can actually get some decent food in
Well,
here?
I'm assuming when the company commander shows up, we're gonna start getting like stipends, and we can put that under battle expenses or field expenses.
That seems like a not. That seems kind of like a cheap way to do that, though.
Well, do you want to pay for the booze yourself, or do you want to ask command to pay for it for you?
I don't know. It seems like
Hey,
everybody should.
I am trying to give you an out. You can either take it or throw it back in my face.
Fine.
This human trafficking investigation is interrupted by an argument over how to pay the grocery bill. I'd like to remind you, there's still a festering corpse bleeding sludge on the floor.
Yeah.
Steve,
Yeah, it's
don't touch
probably
the
not
corpse. We gotta have someone check that out first.
Why don't we just
So-
drag the corpse with us?
All right, we'll drag the corpse with us.
Just drag it through the town.
We have a cloak. We can tie it up in a little baggish kind of.
Oh, but I do grab the cloak. Say, Steve, this is the laundry place, and wash it. I'm gonna use a disguise later. Those have
That's
worked
not
well
a-
in the past.
Laundry place, that's not a thing. Basically telling him to take this out to a bin in the back, out back, and clean it.
Yeah.
Oh, and before I forget, I grab my spear.
All right. I'm assuming you're also going to tell him to fix the hole in the wall now.
It's not a priority.
But yeah, fix it when you get the chance.
This guy is going to have so many skills by the end of this.
Right? Like, he should be like
if
a
he gets
master.
skilled enough, he might even join our party.
I said from the very beginning, bring him along as the loot guy, but y'all got all
No.
mad at me.
I like this better. Think about it. At the end, Steve could go out and start his own business. I mean, he could teach so many things. It'll be great.
All right.
We are setting. him up
I'm
for life.
assuming there's some scraps of cloth or something around here that we can use to wrap up this corpse, because since we're apparently saving the cloak for later.
Oh yeah,
You
we
can-
are.
The bag Steve brought back, all the rations you told him to bring, all the food you told him to get should be big enough you can shove this guy in there, especially since you don't have to worry about breaking bones.
All right, and I'm assuming we can store the food somewhere.
Oh yeah, you can just set that on the counter.
All right.
Oh, and Steve, salt the meats when you get a chance so they last longer.
I thought
Okay.
they were already salted.
Lightly
Yeah,
salted.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, they're already salted.
Oh,
it'll be fine. This stuff
Alright.
this stuff should keep for a bit.
All right.
So you shove the corpse in there, bending it every which way you need to in order to get the bag in order to get in the bag. I'm assuming Talos or Variel slings it over his shoulder, and you leave Steve to his task as you make your way to the Duke's estate.
Yeah, Variel's taking care of it.
Yeah.
You make your way up to the gate, and the guards stop you and say, "Oh, what's your business?"
Yes,
Dead body.
We're the Black Vulture mercenaries who were given a mission by the Duke, and there have been some updates in the mission that I think need to be brought to his attention. Also, we might need the assistance of a magical. What's the word I'm looking for? A consult. We might need a magical consult.
Oh, Black Vultures, huh?
Yes.
Never heard of you.
Well, you should have. I'm just messing, man. Hey, look, I know you're doing your job here. You're working real hard. I respect that. But, we just need to get inside, talk to your lord. We kind of working out a deal. We're cleaning up Southtown. You hear about the casino? We cleaned that place up recently. So, if you could just kind of let us get by, it'd be real appreciated.
Kyras, give me a diplomacy check.
Okay. That skills?
Largely because you just put so much work into that. I have to admit, I'm honest, out of character, I'm legitimately impressed by how in character you've been getting. You are trying so hard, and I really appreciate that.
So do I.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Wow, can't believe that worked.
The guard, he's like, all right, all right, just on in. He should be in the main hall.
Is there anyone else in the hall?
Oh, there's a few more guards, a couple people, probably wealthy merchants and such, trying to suck up.
Well, you might want to
And
send
of course, the
somebody.
occasional servant.
You might want to send somebody ahead and just let them know that what we're bringing might not be good for public images. So we might need a private meeting or something like that, or he needs to clear the hall. Something of that nature.
Really worse than what people already saw by the bar.
Well, you got to
these
remember
people
this.
aren't the type who've seen the bar.
You got to remember
These
we
are-
not only we crushed this corpse to fit into a bag, and it's leaking brown goop, and
Oh yeah. All right.
It-
All right. Fine.
Is this-
you're not just you shouldn't just walk into the meeting hall with like merchants and
body.
guards and servants and just be like, hey, look what we found, and dump this thing on the floor, you know.
I was honestly kind of
I-
hoping that's what you'd do.
I kind
I
of
was
wanted
just-
to do that,
We're-
but
What are we doing instead? I
Guys,
missed that. I was
we're
not paying
trying
attention.
to stay on this guy's good side,
But-
all right?
No, we're
we are
not. We're being a pushover.
we-
got this.
we are trying to open a branch for the Black Vultures. That is
We
our
already
main
got
mission,
that.
all right?
Yeah,
If
we
you
already got
Stay on
that.
target.
if Captain says it, then it goes.
All right.
All right, so
Oh.
who you sending ahead?
Let's.
Me.
Assuming not Variel, considering he's the one holding the sack.
Yeah,
Probably me.
we'll send we'll send Vladius and Kyras.
Okay.
Two y'all make your way up, and you see the Duke just sort of reclining lazily in a chair far too nice for a man who simply holds the position of Duke, and yet somehow is still not large enough to hold this rotund man. Oh,
Ooh,
you
nice
again?
chair. Where can I get one of those things?
Hey
Kind of
Duke,
ignores the comments. Can I help you?
hey Duke, we got something you need to see, and it ain't pretty. You might want to clear this place out.
I sincerely doubt, good sir, that whatever you could bring here is something that can't be shown in polite company. If it isn't, I'm afraid I have no interest in it.
It has to do
That-
with our current investigation.
Very well, you'll have your audience. Bring it in. You notice he doesn't do anything to clear out the body, clear out the people, though.
Fine.
Ladies, you may want
Has
to revert
somebody
your
come out to
eyes.
grab us?
All right. Sure. I come out and say, "Come on in, guys."
All right.
As you make your way through, you do notice that everyone in the hall starts cupping their noses as you get close to them, or covering their faces with their sleeves in an effort to mask the scent.
I'm gonna look at Vladius and be like, "You did tell him to clear the room out, right?"
I'd warned him.
All right.
Anybody who's squeamish may want to look away.
All right, Duke. So, to kind of give you an update on what's going on, we tracked the human trafficking operation to a tower to the south of the city. In that city,
Human trafficking? What are you talking about?
Oh, we didn't tell you about that.
yes, we told him about the human trafficking.
Oh,
That was part of my whole negotiation to get us out of the corpse and the side thing.
Oh yeah, he's got to look at. Oh, yes.
Okay, I was
What
about
else?
to say, do I have to go through this whole thing again? I was like, he should have knowledge about the human trafficking.
Very well, Mr. Talon. Continue.
All right, Talos. So after we found tracked him to a tower where we found dismembered corpses, decaying and all sorts of things with some strange magical runes grafted onto them. Nobody was present at the time, so we came back to seek some magical consults, and that's whenever I'm not sure if your guards have told you or not. We were delivered a warning by Lord Rook in the form of a guy being nailed to a wall, literally. And when we returned to the branch that you so generously gave to us, our compatriot was being attacked by this creature that we have in this bag right here. And honestly, just at this point, we kind of need a better understanding of what we're going against, and would like your assistance in some magic consultation, and possibly some history on the tower to the south. Any information you can provide.
As you finish, one of the guards speaks up. That the tower is just an old watchtower. We stopped using it because we stopped using it when the roads got safer. Wasn't any real point to using it after that.
How long has it been abandoned?
Oh, decades, I think.
Okay,
I must have used it.
so at any point he could have moved in to use it as his base? There were no
Someone
patrols that went by, no nothing?
Oh, and the only people who lived by there moved out long ago. That's part of why we abandoned it. In addition to it getting safer, it didn't make sense to keep maintaining the tower.
Okay. And this Lord Rook, Does he have? Do you happen to know anything about him? Like, is he capable of magic or anything like that? Alchemy?
We don't know anything about him. All we know is at some point, people started doing a whole bunch of, started doing all sorts of foul acts in his name.
Okay.
What kind of acts?
At first, we just thought it was normal stuff, like robbery, protection rackets. This is you bringing this up was you mentioning this was the first thing we'd heard of any human trafficking, and certainly of any corpses.
Well, from what we had gathered, he was looking for specific people with certain quirks and things like that, and then he would trade them for money to be laundered through the gambling operation, the apparently legal gambling operation.
It brought in the Duke gets it. It brought in money and taxes. I saw no reason to outlaw it.
Okay.
Speaking of which, real quick, can we have our own gambling hall going on there? We still good?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Can I smack Kyras?
Sure.
Thank you. So, at this point, I can only assume that Lord Rook himself has some kind of magical capabilities, or he is teamed up with a mage of not particularly good qualities. Possibly even, we could be looking at a cult here. Any magical consultation you can provide us would be crucial to ridding you of this vile man.
Very well, very well. You can speak to my court wizard. And Duke gestures to a guard who leaves and quickly returns with a thin man draped in a robes. This is my court wizard, Alphonse.
Greetings, Alphonse. What we have to show is quite grisly. Would you just like to come over here and look in the bag? I'd hate to dirty the Duke's floors.
And I'd hate for you to dirty them, Mr. Talon.
Okay. Talos.
Alphonse, certainly. I'll be happy to help any way I can. Let's take a look-see.
Alright. I open the bag and let him take a look.
Well, I keep coming back to the smell. It wafts through the building, though I imagine by this point the four of you have gotten quite used to it. Several people start retching, and Alphonse is certainly among them as he recoils, belting up, "By the gods, what did you do to this man?"
We shot him through the head with a crossbow bolt.
That would explain the hole, but I'm more referring to the sludge seeping out of him and the signs carved into him.
That was
He would
done
like that
before.
when we found him.
I guess I should. Can I do a quick recounting of what I told the Duke to the wizard?
Sure.
Okay, blah, 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 blah. I said all that, blah, 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 blah. Basically, all the corpses that I mentioned before had these same carvings on them. We saw weird tables that had, like, organs removed and all these runic magical writings all over them.
In fact, actually, we have the scribbling papers, so we should probably show that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. And we also gathered some documents we found on a desk we found in what we can only assume is some kind of evil laboratory.
The
Very well.
basement of the Infinity Tower.
Yeah. You can show those to me. I'll be happy to help any way I can. I have to get a better look at these signs. All I know is they're there. I didn't really get a good look at them in the lighting.
Okay.
But if I can see these papers.
Yeah, we hand over the papers.
He takes them and he gestures for you to follow him into a side room, an office. He sits down at his desk and starts poring over them for a few minutes. Oh, this is certainly intriguing. I do confess, I honestly can't tell what specifically this individual was attempting to accomplish, but it does certainly in some way, as you can imagine, pertain to the corpses, the reanimation of corpses. Or at the very least that seems to be a byproduct.
I've heard of some dark art like necromancy. Could it possibly connect to that?
Almost certainly. I mean, It's certainly a corpse that got up and attacked you. Judging by the state of him, I'd say he's been dead for a good while, reserved only through magic.
Is there anyone in this area known for their specialty in necromancy?
Oh, goodness, no. Well, healers tend to, I've known heard rumors that gravediggers specialize in necromancy, but that's nonsense, really. I know the gravediggers. They couldn't spell magic, much less practice it.
Would this have to be a high-level sorcerer, not just someone who practices on the weekends?
Oh, most certainly going off these notes you've given me.
Is it possible that somebody from the outside could have come in and influenced these gravediggers?
Perhaps. I mean, with necromancer would have to get his supplies somewhere. But I do admit there's finding the spellcaster just by going to his sources would be difficult enough because you have no way of guaranteeing his sources. You mentioned human trafficking. Does it occur to you that was perhaps where this wizard was getting his supplies?
Well, I imagine that's where he got the body components, but for these runes, wouldn't he require some kind of magical components?
Not necessarily. Runes, any kind of ritual runes, really all you need is something sharp enough to get into the thing you're carving them into. It's...
Well, if you'd like to see any untampered by us anyway, corpses, we just left them there in the tower because we just staked out the position thinking someone might pass by, but there's a whole bunch more.
I believe that I appreciate the offer, sir, but I don't think I have quite the stomach for it. Just what you've given me here, at least what I can decipher. I admit most of this seems like less like research and more like the ramblings of a madman.
Can you tell me anything? Like, can you identify this creature? What it might be? Is it like a zombie or something?
It's clearly some form of zombie. I admit I've never seen its like, but there's something I might be able to do to help you. It's something probably a bit more aid.
Okay. What might that be?
They're rather distasteful, but I suppose the ends justify the means. That is what you mercenaries believe, I suppose.
Naturally.
There is just 1 second. He gets up and heads over to a cabinet and starts going over it and comes back with a vial of a small vial of clear liquid. All right. Now, I'm afraid you'll need your friend there to be a bit more exposed. He gestures to the bag as he says.
I was about to say, I'm assuming he wants us to open the bag. Variel.
Yeah. All right. I'll open the bag and let the body fall to the.
Don't dump it out. Just open it.
Okay. I open it fully then.
He takes the vial and he opens up. This should, in theory, give it just enough effectively mimic whatever enchantment allowed it to function, only in a very limited capacity. In theory, it should be subject to a very simple command. In this case, I suppose the best option would be to have it guide you to its master, or to the very least the place where its master last was.
Okay. Can you hold off on that for just 1 second?
Of course.
Okay. Can I, well, let me ask something. The tower we found before had a ton of corpses in it. How much magic would be required to animate one of these corpses? Like, do we need to worry about the city and being attacked by this army of ghouls, or like can a mage like only control like a limited number of these?
Well, I as I've stated, I'm hardly an expert, but from what I've encountered, It does require some investment, but judging off of the notes you've shown me and the report, I'd say it's not likely that this individual you're after is in command of a very large force. Many of these notes simply, from what I've seen and from what I can decipher from these apparent journals, is more describing his failures.
I see.
It's possible this, while I sincerely doubt this is his only thrall, I sincerely doubt he possesses a sizable enough force to be of any real threat to the city.